be more organic.
Well, the experts disagree. Santiago.
But then again, even speculation about modern technologies, like it will get more organic.
Yeah.
So maybe very advanced technology. Now, these are the part of these, I think this is part of the air show, or no, maybe not. But later we will see the other take of the air show in a place called Pucón Lake in the south of Chile. And where it creates like a ring in the sky.
Yes, it looks like a giant donut or lightsaber.
Yeah, sort of a sky crop circle.
It is unlike anything I've ever seen in any of these
and it really
videos.
doesn't look like an object. That is like a phenomenon.
Yeah,
you know, but
it's
what?
round and it looks like a giant donut.
Yeah, and when we get to it, we'll discuss because I do know some details about it. I think now we're into the famous Phoenix lights, right?
I think so, right? That came in over Phoenix, Arizona.
Now we're in the early part of the incident, which lasted actually for quite a while, and they had several phases.
Exactly, that people saw them coming.
Mostly saw what people remember in the media is the final,
the kind of giant
which we will also
Phoenix.
See. Right, but it had many other phases.
It did, and as it came closer to Phoenix, people reported it on the route, and when that route was traced, it was a straight trajectory. But this is a perfect example of how a major UFO incident hits the newspaper for a moment and then disappears. Thousands and thousands of people witnessed this. It was not a group of airplanes.
No. Even the military, finally under pressure.
Yes.
Initially, they kind of disregarded the thing, but finally under pressure because even some Arizona politicians got involved, and certainly the media was involved. So they came up with their famous theory that they were flares. Remember?
Well,
and that's what they said. And it's possible that maybe some of it was, but not all of the incidents at Phoenix at night.
Look at what is happening there. It is one after another.
Yeah, this is kind of the more classic image of the Phoenix lights.
Yep, there comes another, and they are holding their pattern. Very, very steady.
Yeah, this had to be one of the most highly publicized American sightings in the last few years. Yes,
that's right.
It even led an Arizona politician from Phoenix to even run on a UFO ticket, though she lost. So it's not maybe political.
Maybe it'll be the beginning of a so-called UFO party at some point.
But it was at least some beginning. She wanted to run for lieutenant governor, I think.
I recall that.
You remember? I forgot her name right now, but she got quite a bit of publicity, though not the best publicity for her.
But this must have been something to see.
It must have, yeah.
Phoenix is a good-sized city, and these lights dominate.
Yeah, I was actually in Phoenix not long after these incidents.
Did you have opportunity to speak to anyone?
Oh, sure. Everybody was talking about it, yes. It was big news. The big news had passed, but the people were still talking about it. Certainly UFOs at that point were a very topical subject in Phoenix.
Well, this is a giant icebreaker for any community, and look at them once again. The number is diminishing.
Yeah, well, that's what they try to explain them as flares, that they last for a while, and then and maybe the last phase, I'm open at least to that explanation, but based on even some of the MUFON people that I talked to and all that, the early incidents could not possibly have been flares.
They were holding it for extraordinary
because it was some kind of object that was moving, clearly,
and all together
parts of Arizona.
And here we see another
view, I guess.
Another VCR.
Probably taken from another part of town.
Definitely. I forget the measurement, of the length of the line, but it ran for miles.
Yeah, look how big that is. Now, in this case, though, they did seem to be separate. They didn't seem to be one huge thing.
I agree. But very well coordinated. And this again is another angle from another camera here. Jeez.
There's a different object there, but unfortunately, very short. Okay, that's for Phoenix.
Oh my.
This is a bizarre one too.
This also looks a little bit like that very bright one that we had seen some time back. I'm trying to remember where it was. Was it also in Italy? That is wild. Look at that.
Yeah, there was one round thing in Italy too.
This one seems to have more articulation.
Yeah, that was at a much farther distance. This seems to be
such a close-up in some that the pixels break up a bit, but we know we're looking at something really
very
rather
odd.
Substantial.
Very, very odd.
And yes, very odd indeed.
Again, doesn't look like any kind of machine.
No.
You know, that you would, at least something you would identify with a machine.
Yeah, I can't even, think of what it might look like. It almost looks like a brightly lit rock or special effect meteor or something.
Yeah.
But it's standing fairly still. Okay, back to South America.
Oh, this is one on a beach in Bahia. And
Straight up.
they're pretty faint, but you will see them on the horizon eventually. I think they're quite at a distance. People are not noticing them.
There we go.
Right.
Upper left frame looks like 2 from here.
Right.
And then going in for that close-up.
There they are.
That's 3.
3.
Okay.
Okay, this is the one of the famous Air Force show.
Yes.
Actually, this is not in Santiago, but in Lake Pucón in the south.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the one the donuts that we were mentioning earlier.
Right. Now watch this.
Yeah, this is part of the air show.
One we have not seen before.
It's called the Falcons. Halcones in Spanish.
I'm guessing just about every military aviation has its own.
Now that's a lens flare,
right?
So that's disregarded. Although some people
there we go.
Now, as you know, Peter, I worked on as a consultant, and I was also interviewed for a TV show that was broadcast by the Chilean national TV.
Yes,
a very extensive series. And in that show, they interviewed some of the pilots from the air show, and they showed them the tape. And they were just completely baffled. They said, this is not something we caused. I mean, you can see it's very separate from the big trails.
Oh, for sure. No, it's not like a ring of smoke.
Yeah, because that was, obviously
sure.
The first thing that people will think is that it has to be something created by the
in
planes.
any way in their contrail area.
It's not, and also lasts for a long time.
It does. It holds its shape solidly.
And so they being official military pilots and all that, they wouldn't commit themselves as to what it was. But they went as far as saying this is not something we caused, and we don't know what it is. Again, it doesn't seem to be an object, but more like a phenomenon.
It doesn't fit into any pattern.
No, this is different, and I've only seen it in Chile so far.
Uh-huh. Well, it's certainly the only thing I've ever seen like it in all my years involved in this field. It is really, really unique.
Look at that. It's a sky circle.
Yeah.
It's a new category
as opposed to crop circle.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Cuernavaca, a very famous city in Mexico.
Whoa, pretty precise.
Yeah, it's its own formation, but it's very, very grainy.
It is. It's almost difficult to see for the grain, but it does seem to have shifted from an extremely precise triangle shape to something a bit more freewheeling. We've got another light coming in there and disappearing to the right. But this is tough footage to make a solid evaluation of.
Low quality.
Yeah. But again, it is a 5-unit, and again, looks like pretty precise there, triangular.